We spend most of our lives on autopilot. We take the same routes to work, hit the same grocery stores, and fill up at the exact same gas stations without thinking twice. For one 19-year-old college student, that routine meant driving home after clocking out of a part-time job at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Running low on fuel, she pulled off the highway and into a familiar, quiet gas station. She paid inside in cash, grabbed a bottle of water, and was back in her driver's seat in exactly 3 minutes. 2 miles down the road, she noticed a set of headlights hanging back in her rearview mirror. A dark sedan was matching her speed, mirroring every lane change she made. A 3-minute stop for gas is a perfectly ordinary errand, yet somehow, that brief window was enough to put a stranger in the lane directly behind her for the next 5 miles. Daily life depends on these small, repeating habits. But when a routine becomes fixed, it also becomes observable. As seen in this tracking diagram, the best way to verify a threat is to break routine. The driver took an illogical, winding route. To eliminate doubt, she made a 4th turn down a residential dead-end street. The headlights followed her precisely. Instead of braking suddenly, she maintained a steady speed and dialed 911. By not signaling that she had noticed the car, she kept the distance between them stable. The operator asked for a description of her car. Then she asked an unexpected question. Had the driver noticed anything unusual about her wheels or tires before she left the gas station? Because the victim hadn't checked, the operator initiated a specific protocol. She instructed the driver to avoid going home and to head immediately toward a public area with visible security cameras. Survival in a pursuit depends on systematically testing the other driver's intent and forcing them toward a location where they are easily identified. The victim locked her doors in a busy McDonald's parking lot and waited. The dark sedan idled near the entrance, engine running, until police arrived. When officers secured the suspect, they immediately inspected the victim's car. Tucked out of sight behind the rear passenger wheel well, they found a $30 GPS tracker. This evidence photo shows a notebook found in the suspect's car, containing license plate numbers, names, and the Tuesday night exit time for this student. The suspect hadn't followed her from home. He had been staking out this specific gas station for weeks, logging the patterns of solitary women who used it. He simply deployed a cheap device during a 3-minute window of vulnerability and waited for his phone to alert him when she moved. Modern stalking can function like data analysis. By using inexpensive technology, a predator can weaponize a person's habits without ever having to make physical contact. Weeks of surveillance and a 40-minute pursuit were all enabled by the 3 minutes the victim was away from her car. Because GPS technology is now cheap and widely available, the effort required to track a stranger has decreased significantly. Countering this doesn't require a total change in lifestyle, but it does require making our routines less predictable. This diagram shows the most common attachment points for these devices. Before getting into a vehicle, a quick check of the 4 wheel wells and the underside of the rear bumper can reveal if a tracker has been placed. Behavioral adjustments also increase security. Varying your commute times, changing your route, and knowing the way to the nearest police station can make it harder for an observer to map your life. The advantage of this technology relies on the assumption that you aren't looking. A 30-second visual check uncovers the tracker before the drive even starts. Our routines are visible to anyone paying attention. By taking brief, active measures to secure your vehicle, you can move out of the autopilot cycle and identify a threat before it follows you home.